Well, today we're heading out to Pipeline Trail. We're going to take the route from Nanaimo Lakes Road, take it to the end, and then turn left, and it's pretty well right there. Pipeline Trail is named after the pipes it sits on top of. These pipes run from Nanaimo Lakes Road to Harmac, put in a while ago to provide water to the pulp mill. It's also adjacent to the TransCanada Trail. It's more like a loop, so it's not really a continuous path through, and you can't cross the Nanaimo River at that point. So the TransCanada Trail kind of comes up to Nanaimo River Road and then stops, and you have to follow the river road back down to, I believe, the highway, and then back up again to get to the other side. But this trail provides a nice loop there. It's a bit blustery and chance of rain today, but we'll see. There's a bit of a window now, so I'm gonna check it out. It's not a long trail. Should be able to do it in an hour and a half or so at the most. Yeah, I thought I would show it to you, and we'll check in along the way. Cheers. Well, we're at the start of Pipeline Trail. It's just going to be going down this slight fire access road over here. The TransCanada Trail comes up down from there from Extension, and then would normally go down this road and connect to the highway. This area here is just a nice little loop. Takes you down to the Nanaimo River. And it's got some nice views along the way, so I'm hoping to show you those. The weather, I'm not sure if we get in a break I had thought we would. It is fall on the island. We get the color, but we often get the rain too, so we'll just have to go with it. Can't get outside if you can't get into the weather occasionally. Okay, we'll show you along the way. So here we are at the turnoff for Pipeline Trail. We're going to be walking down this trail up ahead for a short bit anyways. I believe this is actually the portion of the trail that sits atop of the pipeline itself, but I don't actually know that for sure. The colors are out quite a bit this time of year. There's still a lot of evergreens around, but there's also a lot of the deciduous trees to give you that color spark. Won't last forever, obviously, but this is a very nice time to get into the trails and see what nature can provide as an escape. Well, we're just getting to the turnoff off this main trail, and we're going to take a little side route. It takes us down to the river, eventually we'll loop back and we'll be coming back along this trail to return. So it's sort of more my style. I don't like the out and backs, so this gives you some variety that I usually look to. We've gotten a lot of rain here over the last week or so. I was down here a couple weeks ago, maybe 3, and the river was pretty quiet. There wasn't a whole lot of water coming down it, but we're sort of on the ledge and have a bit of ways to go down to the river still, but you know, I can already hear the sound coming up, so the water level seems to be much greater than it was before. So excited to see how much it's flowing at the moment. So here we have a bit of a cut. The main trail goes behind me and behind me over here as well, but there is this sort of cut that brings you down to the river. I haven't been down there for a while, so come join me and let's check it out. Well, here we are at the base of that slight hill. We're right next to the river. I'll walk you over there in a sec, but you can see the trail ridge behind me where we came down from. It's nice here. It's sort of typical of Nanaimo. You can sort of take a trail, and often outside of the main popular ones like Neck Point or Piper's Lagoon and Westwood Lake, you often don't run into too many people along the way. So it's nice to explore. Lots of opportunity to get into nature here. Here we have a bit of a preview to what we'll see ahead. We'll be walking next to the river further along the trail, but this cut gives you a bit of more immediate check-in. So we're gonna have to go back up that hill and continue along, and we'll end up around that bend over there in a little bit later. Okay, cheers. Okay, we're back on the trail, and we'll keep moving along. Well, the river is certainly running a bit more than it was last time I was here. We're going to keep going along the trail here that sort of runs right next to the river more or less, and then brings us right down to the river level. Gets a little slippery down there, especially when it's wet like it is now. It's not raining so much, but the rocks and so on do get a bit slippery, so you should be a bit cautious. I think there's an alternative trail that you can go outside it, but let's see, bring you down to the water level as much as I can. This section can be a bit slippery. Even now the rocks, I'm feeling it underneath my shoes a bit. There is, as I said, an alternative path. You can take a trail up more so on the ridge line. This one brings you closer to the water, but when it's wet like this, it can get a little dangerous. So you're going up and down over rocks and boulders. There's generally a path, but there's opportunity for making mistakes. So just be cautious in this stretch. It is a nice time of year to go down here, but you need to be careful. This stretch of the trail is sort of one of my favorite parts of the trail, which is one reason I try and get down to this area, even though it's not the safest sometimes to be. The river does rise up and down quite a bit depending on the season and the year. So this rocks all around me have been carved over many years to form all the interesting shapes and cutouts and so on that you see. The river itself flows through a fairly deep cutout that's right down the middle here. It does open up a little bit further down. But that's what I say, if you slip off the rocks, you fall in there, it's not a great place to be, and there's many examples of people dying in this area because of that sort of activity. So just be cautious around here, but it is a very beautiful spot to be, and check it out if you're around. The rain has definitely been picking up here. You can probably tell based on my jacket and the like. We are heading back up the ridge line. The trail is right behind me here. Head up to the ridge line, eventually connect to the pipeline trail that we initially moved away from way back at the beginning. We'll return on that route, then head back up that short little fire access road to Nanaimo River Road, and then we'll be done. I'll take some pictures along the way. There's less scenery along this stretch, so you may not see me as often. Okay. We're back on the pipeline trail. So just gonna follow this for maybe a kilometer at the most, maybe probably less. And then we'll get basically back to the road. So yeah, I'll check in a little bit closer to the end here. Cheers. Here's the turnoff to the river as we followed before. We're just going to keep going straight along this path. Well, we're just going up the fire lane here to the car. So thank you for joining me today. Pipeline Trail is, I think, about 4¼ kilometers in total will be the distance, taking maybe an hour and 15 minutes. So it's a relatively short trek to explore a very beautiful part of the Nanaimo Regional District. The trailhead is located on Nanaimo River Road, about 15 minutes or so from downtown Nanaimo. Fairly accessible in that sense. There are some stretches that, as I mentioned, can be challenging. There are some ways around them, but not entirely so. So if you are planning on coming here, make note of that. If you have smaller children or animals, bring them along with you. Otherwise, again, thanks for joining me on another adventure, and I hope you will come along with me again soon. Please like, subscribe, and all those other things. And until then, cheers.